Right, well, welcome to the miracle work. And there's a lot of miracle work to do, like every day. There's so much miracle work to do. I can't believe it. So I'm really happy that you joined and that you want to be exposed, say, to this, which is great. It's great. Like, this is your only chance to get out of the prison of an enclosure into this. Or the whole idea that you are stuck in time and space somewhere out in a large, huge universe, say stuck on a planet called Earth. That would be a ridiculous idea. So there is an alternative. And to get that idea into your system, everything is included. And that's why it's miracle work, because you are the miracle. And yeah, it is not understandable, it's not logic or anything, it is not perceivable necessarily with your senses, but you sure as hell you can experience it yourself. That is so great. And hell isn't sure though, heaven is sure. But anyway, I like to start with three miracle principles, since this is the place to do that, and this is the time to share it with you. They're all related to the idea of time and space, and this is our starting point today. So it's like the miracle principles. I use my little Miracle Healers Handbook for that. If you want a copy, just let me know, because I got a PDF for you ready to go. The miracle is a learning device that lessens the need for time. So it collapses time. It establishes an out of pattern time interval, not under the usual laws of time. In this sense, it is timeless. Now, this is really wonderful, because today we're looking a little bit too at the function of time, time in healing. You know, it's like, okay, so it needs to happen in time, but it has nothing to do with time. So we have an opportunity here to make, say, quantum leaps, to make steps that are not reasonable, like not understandable, but are such a speed up for your awakening that you don't have to go through like large trajectories of suffering and evolutionary processes that will take forever for you to recognize your Christhood. No, this is quick, it is certain, it is miraculous, and it's an alternative to what you think has to happen for your awakening. So it also turns everything around what you are thinking, and that can disrupt you quite a bit. You know, it can disrupt you. It puts you right down with your feet on the ground. It's like the rubber meets the road. And so it has a physical impact. One way or the other, you will experience that. And which is wonderful. It's just a matter of see everything as part of the process of the journey, and don't try to connect it to persons, situations, occurrences, and thinking that you know how this all works. I don't know either, and we don't have to know. But one thing for sure is that nothing happens just by accident. It is literally like there's a perfect plan behind all the appearances. And if you use time well, say everything in your awakening keeps gentle pace with you in your transition. We read this the other day too, but it's really like, this is how I experience it myself too. It's like, just stay with this. Stay with practicing this. Stay with opening up to experience the love that you are, and the connectedness and your love for God. Like, expose yourself to your own connection, and things shift and change really quickly, but not too fast. You can handle this. That's why the occurrences are taking place. And so that's one of the, say, miracle principles that are actually showing us this. It's an out of time pattern. Has nothing to do with time, while it's actually an occurrence in time. That's a paradox indeed. Yeah, so that's not understandable, but it's really how that works. So here's another principle. Miracles are both beginnings and endings. Wow. And so they alter the temporal order. This is what I said. It's a beginning and an end. It is an shift, like a collapse of time. That's why it's like a quantum leap that you're taking. And so they alter the temporal order. They're always affirmations of rebirth, which seem to go back but really go forward. They undo the past in the present and thus release the future. So they release the past, and this is the place where you start to feel it in your whole system. Like, this is the release of the past. And why we come to that later in the piece that I'm sharing with you. It's like the releasing of the past, because what the ego, personality, you does is trying to hold on to that past, because it establishes you as the thing you're not. It establishes you as you know yourself so far, until you start having different experiences. Then you see the past is over. Then you can allow this to crumble. But up to that point, you're holding on to it, defending it like there's no tomorrow. Literally. Like you want to hold on to the past. You want to drag the past in the future in order for nothing to occur to your image of yourself. And it's not going to happen. It's going to fall apart completely. It's going to completely fall apart. None of that is true. None of that is still here. It's gone. It's over. That is the miraculous part in the whole story. But like I said, I come back to that and come in through a different angle still with this. So all of this we share today in the light of, say, lesson 160, which is today's lesson. It's like, I am at home. Fears the stranger here. Fears the stranger. And it's like, what? Fear the stranger? What on earth is that? What? Stranger where? So we're going to see about that too. I made some visuals for that. We're going to look at that later. But now, first, go back to the third miracle principle. Here it is. Miracles enable you to heal the sick and raise the dead, because you made sickness and death yourself, and can therefore abolish both. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. And just for the fact of the matter, your Creator is the love that created you. Like, love created me like itself. So this is what we're talking about. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. Everything else, here it is, everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. So only the creations of light are real. Everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. Only the creations of light are real. So here we come then. Here you feel the thing. It's like, well, the nightmare that I'm experiencing and at this moment does seem very real to me. You know, it's like the nightmare I'm experiencing feels very real. Like I go through all kinds of experiences, physical, mental, anxiety, this, whatever that is for you. Like it does not seem to be not real. So it is like, to you it's very real. And to you it's very much connected to an idea of yourself as based on a past idea. You know, and that is where like a huge change is possible, because feeling that you're going through these changes, you're afraid of what is going to happen, or you have no idea what is going to happen, but it doesn't make you feel good, has everything to do with you losing your grip on holding your past together. So it's like the memory package that we were talking about the other day. It's like it's a memory package, and it's a cloud. You can take a look at it. You can look at what you are thinking. You can take a look at it. You can see what you're doing. You're actually able to look at yourself like, this is my past, this is what happened, or this is where I hold on to myself. These are the ideas that I'm thinking. And not that they are me, but I'm thinking them. I cannot stop thinking them. So all these processes, very interesting to move through and to awaken from. And this is why we bring this up today. You know, I'm at home. Fears the stranger. I'm at home. Like, I'm home in heaven. Well, that is not the experience I have right now for myself. So what's going on here? I want to know. So that is that part. That's that part. So I want to read a little bit from the Urtext manuscripts, chapter 12 it is, but in the blue book it's chapter 13, and that's healing and time. So I'm sharing with you a PDF of the Urtext. Ta-da! And this is such an interesting part. Let me see if I can find it. Right thing, right, yeah. Oh yeah, so here. We'll begin here. Putting it on 200. The ego, which is you as a personality, so it's not someone else or something in you that, no, you identified with this thing called the ego, your personality. The ego is a very strange notion of time. And it is with this notion that the questioning might well begin. The ego invests heavily in the past and in the end believes that the past is the only aspect of time that is meaningful, as if there are the occurrences, there is all that happened to you, and that is all that you are, as if that would identify you. You will remember what we said. Its emphasis on guilt enables it to ensure its continuity. Like there's some guilt sticking on your past, on ideas that you hold. And that's why, yeah, it's difficult to let go of it. By making the future like the past and thus avoiding the present. Like I will make the same mistakes again if I believe myself to be this. I make the same, like I have to be afraid of the future because look at my past. This kind of thing. So by the notion of paying for the past in the future, go up. Sorry, I missed it. The past becomes the determiner of the future, making them continuous without an intervening present. For the ego uses the present only as a belief, as a brief transition to the future, in which it brings the past to the future. By interpreting the present in the past terms, like literally like you put on, you could say it like this, it's like you put on your glasses, your filter glasses, in which you are only seeing the past. Whether you look at the future, whether you look at the, whether you look at the past, it's all the same stuff to you. It's like, it is flat, it is, it's a continuity, it feels heavy, it's like it's a layer of your existence, and you call it you. You think that you are that, and you feel that with your body. You see that in the relationships you have. It comes back to all aspects of your existence. You know, so this is a real occurrence. This is a real occurrence in your belief about yourself. And so miracles then abolish this whole idea, like it blows this idea up because it takes you out of this continuity. And that's why miracles are like essential to you to experience. So continuing one more time with the text, because there's some lines in there that are so helpful. Now has no meaning. So it says here on the top, now has no meaning to the ego. The present merely reminds it of past hurts. And it reacts to the present as if it were the past. Yeah? Okay, so we continue. The shadowy figures from the past are precisely what you must escape, for they are not real and have no hold over you, unless you bring them with you. They carry the spots of pain in your minds, directing you to attack in the present in retaliation for a past that is no more. And this decision is one of future pain. Wow. So this is incredibly healing statement and an instruction of how to deal with the past. It's like the shadowy figures from the past are precisely what you must escape. Don't hold on to them, let them go. They are not real, they have no hold over you, unless you bring them with you. They carry the spots of pain in your minds, directing you to attack in the present in retaliation for a past that is no more. See, this is incredible. It's incredible. So what does it actually mean then? It's like I can bring my past figures, shadowy figures. I can bring my past with me, thinking that the occurrences that took place still define me, still thinking that I'm, say, haunted by a past that is affecting me in every step that I take, that will determine the future, because it is what it is. Like it has defined me as the victim, or it has defined me as the attacker. And I've hurt people, you know, like this, and this defines me as a human being, as an, you know, as a criminal. Basically, it defines me as a criminal. So how can I ever be free of that, you could ask. So this is exactly the setup of the ego mind, your personality mind, that wants to keep you in the present, in the past. Literally, the only thing that the present would represent is then the pain that you caused and that you felt in this moment. And so how does that translate into your experience? For instance, this is just one, but it's a very common one. To be afraid of love, you know, to be afraid of love, because in love, what you've called love, were a lot of occurrences in which you have hurt, or in which you were hurt. So that's a very popular one, so to speak, to attack yourself with. And speaking from deep experience, it's like, absolutely. So in order to be completely open to love, you will have to let go of the past. You will have to let go of these ideas that you think you need to drag with you, with, in fact, the witnesses. See, the shadowy figures are your witnesses of a past in which you were wrong, that you did something that was wrong. That is what this says. Like, now it's up to you to let these so-called witnesses go. What do they represent? The only reason you hold on to them is your idea of guilt, of your judgment about yourself. I'm saying this like very plainly and simple, but it's really where all of this is about. Whether you experience trauma, whether you experience relationship problems, whether you experience loneliness, whether you experience depression, whether you experience anxiety, on and on and on and on and on. Like there's a huge list, absolute huge list. All has the basis of this. You drag a past into the present because you're actually judging yourself of the one who was wrong in the past and cannot get rid of that, thinking that you still have to, say, be punished for it. So it is not true. None of that is true. You can let go of the past. You're completely allowed to enter into the present moment just like that, for no reason, for no reason you can do that. You can feel, you can allow yourself to let go of the past and slowly move into, and it's like a full experience of the presence that's going on right now. It has nothing to do with anything else. And yes, you are able to open up to love, to love, not tainted by a past that is over, not witnessed by witnesses that still seem to be looking at you, what your movements are, or how you are thinking, or what you are doing or not doing. So this is exactly what this is about. So the healing potential of this lesson is without limit. I can tell you that. It's like totally without limit. This is, say, real possibility for you to set yourself free from that. And you don't need you don't need your witnesses. You don't need your witnesses to allow you to do that. It's really up to you. It's not depending on anything or anyone. You can choose for this yourself. I love it. I love it. So here in Time and Healing, there's more. Oh yeah, this one is really what I love to do. So D7 starts with, would you recognize a holy encounter if you are merely perceiving it as a meeting with your own past? Would you recognize it? No. For you are meeting no one, and the sharing of salvation, which makes the encounter holy, is excluded from your sight. So here it is. The Holy Spirit teaches you always meet yourself, not anyone else. And the encounter is holy because you are. So this is so great. So would you recognize a holy encounter if you're merely perceiving it as a meeting with your own past? No. So it's like flat. It is there's no light or life in it. It is dead. It is, you're meeting yourself in a past that is over. What is that? That is nothing. So here the Holy Spirit teaches that you're always meeting yourself, and the encounter is holy because you are. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, so here's another expression. The ego teaches, so there was the Holy Spirit teaches that you're always meeting yourself, and the encounter is holy because you are. The ego teaches that you are always encountering your past because your dreams were not holy, like you're full of guilt, and the future cannot be without that guilt, since it's such great stuff to work with, is what the ego thinks. And well, you as a personality are actually performing this, and the present is without meaning. Like, this is, you recognize this, I know that. It is evident that the Holy Spirit's perception of time is the exact opposite of the ego's. And the reason is equally clear, for they perceive the goal of time as diametrically opposed. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? I love this. I love this. So it's like the goals of the ego and the Holy Spirit are diametrically opposed. That's why this feels like such an intrusion. And that's why you get a headache when Holy Spirit enters in a little bit. It literally gives you a headache. It can literally give you a headache or whatever physical appearance. It's like holding on to this past and wanting to keep it like that. And here comes the Holy Spirit. Like, there's no chance to hold on to that. Like literally, your consciousness is impregnated with the Holy Spirit. It is shaking you up. It is moving you. It's moving the cells of your body. It is moving, your whole physicality. It is because it's all. This is a memory package completely related to past ideas, and don't tell me that it isn't. You know, you know it is, and that's why there's real physical healing going on in allowing this to come to you and seeing the Holy Spirit at work. In fact, it's like that's exactly the occurrence. So I lost the last sentence that I would love to share with you. So I gotta get it back for just a second. It's evident that the Holy Spirit's perception of time is the exact opposite of the ego's. Oh yeah, now I know what I wanted to say. So that's this. Like, they're diametrically opposed. For the Holy Spirit, there's only one moment. For your Holy Spirit, there's only one moment. It is now. It is not tainted by the past. It is completely clean. It is an, say, infinite moment of your realization of yourself, not as you define it, not as you think you are, not having to do with anything from the past. So that has a whole different energy, a whole different frequency altogether. That's where you come alive. That's where you are completely fear-free. It is the only moment where you are completely guilt and fear-free. There's no other time where you can have that, where you can experience that. As soon as you think that you're comfortable in time and thinking, well, I'm actually doing pretty good. No, there's no problem, I'm nice and comfortable right now. Well, hold on, just wait a moment, because it is like superficially it might all look okay, but underneath there's this something is being stirred up in you and will manifest itself in a form so you can understand, oh, wait a minute, I'm still holding on to the past. I'm still trying to maintain this past as if it is a real occurrence that is defining me as who I am. Avoiding the moment of being present, being in this holy instant, like in this beautiful holy encounter with the totality of yourself. So that is the occurrence. But just to make it very easy and recognizable. So I'm at home, fears the stranger here. Okay, so the title actually you don't understand if you don't know the lesson. So fear, the way of love. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear and you will be a stranger to yourself. And thus you are unknown to you. What is yourself, with a capital S, remains an alien to the part of you which thinks that it is real but different from yourself. Well, this is exactly what we were reading in the rest of the textbook too. Like, fear is a stranger to the ways of love. And since you are love, you're a stranger to yourself. Identify with fear, right? Identify with your past, and you will be a stranger to yourself because you cannot see yourself in the present moment. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear, and you will be a stranger to yourself, and thus you are unknown to you. What is yourself remains an alien to the part of you which thinks that it is real, like you have no doubt that your past is real, you have no doubt that the characters in you, or the witnesses to your guilt, are still present, or your victimization ideas about yourself, or the predator ideas that you hold about yourself defined you. That's why you experience yourself in this moment the way that you think you are. No, not true. Not true. The past is gone. So what is yourself remains an alien to the part of you which thinks that it is real, but different from yourself. Question is then, who could be sane in such circumstances? If you think that the past is still there, how could you be sane? How could you be clean, open, receptive, and recognizing your innocence? Impossible. Who could do that? Nobody can. So another question. Who but a madman could believe he is what he is not, and judge against himself? Like, how would that be possible? I make an image of myself as the past figure, dragging all the guilt and all the hidden, or not so hidden, shadowy figures with you that sit as a court full of witnesses to prove your guilt. You take them with you. You think that they have every reason to be there. Like, who but a madman could believe he is what he is not, and judge against himself with the help of all his witnesses as he has manifested them when he's holding on to the past? Who but a madman could do that? So the question is, do you see yourself as the madman doing so? That's another question. Do you see yourself as the madman who does it? Are you holding on to your past and you think you have to do that? Who is the stranger? Who is the stranger? You're absolutely not certain about who the stranger is. That's the duality idea that you walk with. Like, you're not sure who is the stranger. That's why you're in conflict. That's why you experience things that are a bit weird, as if it has nothing to do with you, and at the same time it should be you, but you don't know exactly. So we continue to read. Who is the stranger? Is it fear or you who are unsuited to the home which God provided for his Son? Is it fear or you who are unsuited to the home which God provided for his Son? Is fear his own? Is fear coming from God? Did God create that in his likeness? Is it fear that love completes and is completed by? Like, is it an essential ingredient of love? Is fear an essential ingredient of love? Is it completed by? Does it make love complete to feel fear, to fear? There's no home can shelter love and fear. There's no home that can shelter love and fear. They cannot coexist. They can't. They cannot coexist. They cannot be in the same home at the same time. If you are real, then fear must be illusion. If you are real, then your past must be illusion and cannot affect you at all. If fear is real, then you do not exist at all. Then you're only like present memory, past memories. If fear is real, if the past is real, then you do not exist at all. Impossible, right? So who's the stranger? Is it fear or you who are unsuited to the home which God provided for his son? Well, the answer is obvious, right? It is only if you hear this sentence, so I'll get out of this. So if you hear this question, if you hear this question, then it's like, is fear real or am I real? Like, am I created perfectly by God or not? Like, this is where it has a lot of consequences in how you think. If you think that the past is real and hold on to it as if it is your own, then you're actually putting yourself outside of heaven. You're still putting yourself outside of the garden, and you will not experience that. Pretty wild, isn't it? Like, unbelievable, unbelievable. Unbelievable. But it's what you do every moment. Every moment that you feel fear, you make the past real. And you think it's you, and it's determining where you find yourself. Well, it does. It does determine where you find yourself. Your experience will be limited and flat and cramped, like a contraction like this. Does that have anything to do with the love that you are in the... No, of course not. So where the change occurs from, say, from fear to love, as it so popularly is being said a lot, like the change from fear to love is then seeing that they cannot live in the same house. They cannot live in the same house. I'm experiencing love, or I'm experiencing past fear. For all the good reasons that you come up with. In the meantime, the cat is just taking a nap. He's like, he doesn't have these concerns. Like, no, everything's fine. No, no worries. I'm right here. No. What do you mean, past? I have no idea what you're talking about. Not forgotten is the title here. Not one does Christ forget. Not one he fails to give you to remember, that your home may be complete and perfect as it was established. He has not forgotten you. So whatever your ideas are about yourself, say the Christ is always in you. You cannot get rid of it. It's like not one he fails. There's no exception to the remembrance of Christ, the actual present remembrance of Christ. You always take that with you. It's always never influenced by the experience that you can have about the past. Like, as soon as you let go of the past, this remembrance comes to you because it's present. It is the only thing that's alive in this moment. The gift of sight. But you will not remember him until you look on all as he does. So it's like this is the most essential thing for Christ vision. You will not remember him, your Christ totality of you-ness, yourself. You will not remember yourself with a capital S until you look on all as he does. That's why this Course in Miracles came to you. Like, this is helping you to see through the eyes of Christ, through the recognition of the totality of love that you are, without exception, including everyone. All this. Who denies his brother, here you go. Who denies his brother is denying himself, and is also denying him, the Christ, and thus refusing to accept the gift of sight, by which his self is clearly recognized, his home remembered, and salvation come. This is so clear and so simple if you look at it like this, the gift of sight. So who denies his brother is denying him. And it means all-inclusiveness, non-defensiveness. Like in my defenselessness, my safety lies. My safety is my salvation, is my remembering home, is my experience of light and recognition, is my total present memory. So I'm at home, fear is the stranger here. Like if I recognize myself, who I truly am, fear is the stranger, is gone, because there is no past. It has always, so any kind of idea of fear has always to do with a past idea that you try to take with you. And you say like, well, I cannot let go of that. It's too painful to let go of it. And I say to you, it's like, no, it's not painful to let go of it. It is very painful to hold on to it. That's where the pain comes from. It's like the holding on, thinking that it has, say, identified you. It has created you as the whatever thing that you think you are. That is what is happening. So the letting go of it is always liberating, will always make you feel so good. Like that is really what forgiveness is. Suddenly you open your heart. Suddenly you're open to the miracle and are literally, say, lifted out of this contraction that you were in a moment ago. And it really works like that. And it is simpler than you think. It doesn't take much. And it's not that you let go of everything at once. No, it's like that will come back. It's like parts, layers are being let go of. Deeper layers, deeper layers, deeper layers. So, but the recognition is the same. It's like the letting go action is the same. It has nothing to do with anyone. You don't need a confirmation from anyone that you are letting go of your past. You don't need to wait till others agree to do that. Like there is no chance of a better past. The past is gone, it's over. It can touch you not. Like literally it has no effect on you as the totality of yourself being present in this moment. The rest is all just confusion about that. So the present moment is all that you have. Wow. I made it. I wasn't in a hurry. No, I was not in a hurry, but I so wanted to share this with you. I don't know why. Let me see, I got my Jesus is Praying book. So I love to pray a present prayer, to help us see. And it's like it's a miracle prayer. It's so wonderful. Okay, so this is a nice one. This is a real healing prayer. My Father knows my holiness. Shall I deny his knowledge and believe in what his knowledge makes impossible? I love it. Shall I accept as true what he proclaims as false? Or shall I take his word for what I am? Since he is my creator, I might as well. And the one who knows the true condition of his son, the true condition of you. Father, I was mistaken in myself, because I failed to realize the source from which I came. I just missed it. I failed to see it. But now I remember. I have not left that source to enter into a body and to die. I didn't do that. I have not left that source. It is with me wherever I go. It's always with me. And I have not left that source to enter into a body and to die. My holiness remains a part of me as I am part of you, Father. And my mistakes about myself are dreams. I let them go today. 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 I let them go. I let them go. I let them go. Wow. All my mistakes about myself are dreams. I let them go today. And I stand ready to receive your word alone for what I really am. You could say, like, God is going to be my only witness to confirm my true identity. Not anything else can share that with me. Not anything else can prove that to me. I'm letting go of my dreams today and awaken to the truth of who I am, just as a total experience of the love that I recognize myself to be. All-inclusive. You're a complete part of it. It's like all-inclusive, without limit, no conditions, no past, present aliveness. That's all. Disappearing into that light, disappearing into that present, not being held back by anything, because I let go of my ideas today. I let go of my dreams, of my past nightmares. It can touch me not. So this is our healing moment together, recognizing that, finding each other home. It's like, wow, I've been waiting for you. I'm so happy with your return home. Like, home is complete. Everyone's already here, so where are you waiting for? We're just waiting for you. So welcome home. Welcome home. Thank you for everything. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.